welcome to the I Just Feel Like podcast, where we drop new audio every Tuesday morning and new videos every Tuesday evening.
You can subscribe to our YouTube channel by typing in the search I Just Feel Like podcast.
If you like this episode, at the end, please give us a 5-star rating and leave us a review of your favorite part of the podcast. I'm Ramona.
And I'm Mary. And
welcome to the I Just Feel Like podcast.
Cheers, sis. We cheers, you too. Okay, well, we back. Another episode. Thank you guys all for your continuous support per usual. We appreciate it.
Yes, the giveaway had just ended. Shout out to Emily Madero. She won our giveaway as she should. It was well deserved. Thank you all for your entries and all of the feedback. And if you guys want to watch a video of Mary and I on live, it is there. It is live on our Instagram channel.
Yeah, we picked the winner on live, so you guys wouldn't say nothing about it. Period. But shout out to you, girl. I hope you enjoyed that Amazon gift card. Period.
Yes,
But yes, y'all, as you can see, our set is looking a little bit different today. It's guest week.
It's guest week, y'all.
Look at who we have here. Do you want to introduce the guest, ma'am? You want to introduce the guest?
Well, yes, y'all. We have my man, Cody Lamoshik in the building. Yes. We get an amen.
Yeah, Cody, you should have said amen.
Yeah, amen.
Well, Cody, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself. How old are you? What are you studying? Then
give us a little fun fact about you.
Yeah, what do you like to do? Your hobbies, your interests, all that.
So I'm 25 years old. From Mississauga. I enjoy nice walks on the beach.
Okay.
Woodbine.
If that's your favorite beach, that's questionable.
I'm currently in school for nursing as a male nurse. Yes.
Where do you study?
Breaking barriers. In U of T, downtown.
Okay, love it.
What year are you in?
My final year. I'm almost graduated very soon. And one fun fact. I mean, if people don't the people that do know me, it's not that fun of a fact, but I'm half Jamaican. That's a good one.
Well, that brings us really into our segment because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people are really going to question, how are you white and Jamaican? That's going to be a big one. Are you adopted? Where the fuck are you from? So, answer that for the many viewers who are going to ultimately be having those questions.
They're probably looking confused right now.
Well, I've had that, people definitely think I'm adopted, whenever I say that, or sometimes even people will think I'm half Hispanic, half Jamaican, and so
Hispanic?
that always happens, sometimes actually, but
the fuck?
For the most part I just explained that my mom's side of the family is white, and they just so happen to be from Jamaica.
Yeah.
But comes with all the accents and the culture.
Pussy kicking on your blood clot, tack it done. Cause you fuck out America. You can't come back. Bumbo hole. You suck pussy over there. Yeah. That's why the blood clot, girl, blood clot bun down your house.
And so I know everything about that side for sure. It's not something that's just far off to the side. I'm well aware of all the codfish and ackee.
Well, y'all, this is a good learning lesson for all the listeners out here. Know the difference between race and ethnicity.
Oh!
Because that be beating people's asses up.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And usually on the podcast, guys, we have a What's Poppin' This Week segment, but we're not doing that this week. So instead of Mary and I asking each other what's poppin', we can ask our guests what's poppin'.
Facts. What's been poppin', Cody?
What's poppin' with you, Cody? Have you watched or seen or listened to anything interesting?
I mean, I've been watching stuff here and there, with you, Love Island type stuff.
Okay, tell the viewers what's been interesting you about Love Island.
I mean, it makes your brain melt. It's literally something you put on, and it's just in the background.
Still watching, though.
This be the same one who come back and be like, is Ron still messing up? But it's melting his brain, huh?
Yeah, but it's like watching, Jersey Shore or something like that.
You wanna do it? You wanna do it? Yeah, you wanna do it? You wanna do it?
you acknowledge that it's dumb, but
I get it. Because I kind of feel
it's
that way
fun.
with baddies sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, that baddies is dumb.
It's like
Yeah.
junk food in like a TV form.
Yeah. Okay, I like that metaphor actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I just listened to that new Chloe Bailey album today.
Okay.
Oh.
Mary, have you listened to that?
No, I haven't.
So please update our viewers.
Yeah, what? We're behind.
I don't know. It's all right.
That's it?
Yeah, like
Very
well, like,
underwhelming.
Yeah.
well, especially because people are saying she's like the next coming of Beyonce and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Motherfucker, watch your mouth.
and plus, even like I feel like her like the last like Chloe and Haley album or Halle, that was like better than this one.
Oh wow.
But this one's her solo album, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. What's your favorite song on there? Or do you have one? No. Okay.
Definitely haven't listened to it enough, but so far it seems pretty underwhelming.
Damn, Chloe. Maybe stick to act. No, I'm joking.
I mean, this is just the opinion of one white kid from Mississauga. It's not like it's
Let's not
the
do
all
that.
and all.
But you like, it's like R&B vibes, no?
Yeah,
And you like R&B.
I do.
Yeah, let's get into that actually. So you're a white person who's pretty cultured with the R&B vibes. What's some R&B music that you like? What's your go-to Sunday cleaning the house R&B song?
Oh, Jodeci. Jodeci.
And where would you say you get that musical inspiration from when you're listening to things like Jodeci? And who else? Name a couple more.
Well,
that.
he who shall not be named.
I know exactly who that is.
Robert.
You know Robert? Kels.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Excuse me?
You know, like you put that on the speaker and you're cleaning the house on a Sunday. You know, you want to
No,
hear
you're
"I Believe I Can Fly."
You're not going to jail. You're going to prison. That way.
No, you're trifling for that. There's no way you're still listening to R. Kelly.
Oh, there is a way.
Not affiliated with me.
Should we get into it? Because you guys just let me know.
I don't condone it. And babe, I'm gonna save you right now. He also doesn't condone it. He just will not turn it off if it happens.
You know, it's like listening to Michael Jackson.
Oh, come on, Cody. I'm trying to save you here.
bugging. You cannot compare R. Kelly to Michael Jackson. Come on.
What?
Now.
How can you not? I guess because of Michael's were more so allegations,
Exactly.
even though there's a lot of facts.
There's a lot of allegations.
But remember, Chris Rock kind of said the same thing too when we watched that on Netflix. He's like, if you still listen to R. Kelly, then it's no better than listening to Michael Jackson. Just one happens to be a better artist, and he made like a joke out of it.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
Girl, there's so much evidence
I
against
literally
Michael.
don't agree.
It's
I
that,
will-
have you seen that documentary?
Yeah.
It's literally in your face.
Also, there was like people that were like, I don't know. To me, it seemed like they were lying.
They could have been.
But
They could have been exaggerating.
Yeah.
But there is still a lot of facts. Like there's handwritten notes that Michael made trying to marry some youths. That's factual evidence.
Trying to marry
them, brought them to Disney World and gave them a ring. Yeah, so you're gonna have to do some
I do
research.
agree. Like the whole thing with Michael, it is a little bit weird. Even if he wasn't like scandalous, trigger warning. Even if he wasn't touching like the kids, it's still weird why he was hanging out with kids. Like I remember in the documentary, there was a kid he was talking about like how he would be on the phone with Michael for like 4 hours. I'm like, what do you and Michael have to talk about for 4 hours? Like it doesn't make.
What is
no
any
sense.
kid on the phone doing for 4 hours?
4 hours. Where are your parents? But you know what? They were condoning it.
Not
They were
selling them
condoning
out.
it. But no, I can't believe you still listen to R. Kelly.
Well,
You're
to be
right.
fair, and Ramona knows this, like I listen to music as like I don't go in depth with like lyrics and stuff like that, unless it's like a rap song where it's like the main thing in front of you, because obviously that's like the main thing where why people don't want to listen to him anymore is because like his lyrics.
They're condescending. To
Yeah,
that.
no, like in if you think about the context now, it's like weird.
100%.
But for me, like I don't know, I listen to the music for the actual music aspect. I don't really care what he's saying, you know.
But my thing is, this is totally out of our like main topic.
I know, but we're also like very heavy on music, so I knew we were gonna get into this.
But my thing is like, you do know what has happened with R. Kelly, and when you are listening to a song, I just don't understand how you are like bypassing the lyrics. Because 100%, I know when you're sweeping on that Sunday morning or Saturday morning,
Yeah.
you're singing 100%.
Yeah.
it's not like you're just listening to the beat. Like if you came and said, yo, I listen to R. Kelly's instrumentals, you know, even still I don't condone it, but like I would understand. But
R.
like,
Kelly did produce all his tracks,
He did most of it.
but not all of them.
yeah, not all of them for sure.
Yeah.
But still, I just feel like the argument is not valid.
I mean, I'm not telling anyone else to do it. I'm just saying I do, and I'm not like, it's not like I'm saying whenever I listen to it, I'm saying he's innocent or anything like that.
Yeah,
of
God
course. Yeah. I'm just saying whenever I listen to any music, even if it's like, because there's artists that have way worse lyrics that like, this doesn't have a context behind it, but just the lyrics themselves are like very vulgar and whatnot. I don't really look at them as like, oh, like it takes me out of it from hearing those kind of lyrics. I listen to the actual music part of it. And I sound like a snob, I guess, from that, but I don't know. That's just how I listen to it.
Because I feel like those artists that do have those like particular type of lyrics, it's more so art for them. But
Yeah.
R. Kelly was really doing like what he was saying, you know, he was really living that life. So it's just like, I don't know. But you know, everybody got their own things.
I don't support it.
Definitely
Boyfriend, no boyfriend. He doesn't listen to R. Kelly.
Definitely, sis, as long as you turn it off when
I
you guys
do.
are together.
Oh, yeah. I respect that.
Okay. No, you know, maybe that's something you need to unpack one day.
So let's get into what you're reading. Anything you're reading right now?
So I'm currently reading a book by, I think it's Thomas Sowell. I always forget his name, but it is Sowell. And he's like a black economist in the States, and he has a lot of different books that talk about like race and like how like the economics of like how race are integrated with society and culture and all that stuff. So I'm currently reading a book from his called Black Rednecks and White Liberals, which kind of describes how the black quote unquote culture that's found in like the United States right now is just a branch from early like British settlers in the US that were from parts of Great Britain that were very like poor and bad. Like they would be killing each other over like pointless stuff. They wouldn't be working. They would be like having a lot of premarital sex and just being viewed as like lazy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of similarities with how a lot of black people are viewed currently, whether it's like, oh, they don't want to get up to go to work and like do this and that, or like gang related culture where you can like kill someone over someone talking to you in a certain way.
Yeah.
Whereas it contrasts into like the north of the United States back then, which was like more sophisticated. And so it's a very interesting book about how like slavery kind of took away the African culture and put that type of culture, the negative culture, into that black population.
Wow, that's interesting. That's facts though.
What are some new things that you've learned now that you can say that I may have used to think about that? Like I used to have certain stereotypes around black people, and I kind of understand why those stereotypes are a thing. Or if not necessarily your own stereotypes, but stereotypes that are like just within society that the book contradicts.
Well, one thing that I mentioned to you that you said you already had an idea of was how a lot of like ebonics, like whenever people, like black people will speak to each other and they'll like use slang and whatnot, like that was from old British like vocabulary that was actually used with like rich people, rich white people back in the day, like saying axe instead of ask.
Saying ain't.
Yeah,
for
ain't.
is not.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I told you that from anthropology class. That a lot of, let's fucking get into that now. A lot of things that black people say now is used as like a target for white people to be like, you can't speak English.
Oh, 100%.
When it's really like, it is English, it's actually old English. But it's like, black people don't understand the context of that, so there's no defending themselves. It's just you're uneducated and you don't understand that we speak this way. Or like even using certain slang, like saying like dead ass or something. Like that's now, with evolution, something of our generation.
Yeah.
But later on the road, they're gonna be like, it was something used during this time.
Yeah.
And I just found that very interesting because something that I brought up to Cody was Jordan, his cousin, threw a Halloween party sometime last year, right? And I went, turned up, we wake up, his homeboy's there. I don't know his name at all. And we're having discussion. I don't know his name.
It was someone that like it wasn't one of his homeboys. It was like an extended friend.
Okay, an extended friend,
Yeah.
whatever. He lives very far, so he just ended up sleeping over as well, right?
Yeah.
And actually, it wasn't the morning that we woke up. It was the night before. I remember. It was before I was going to bed. And we were all just having a conversation in the living room, and I was like, yeah, like dead ass, like he dead ass or whatever, you know. I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but I used the word dead ass. And then he was like dead ass, and then he started to like laugh, almost like what I was saying didn't make sense. But this is the same person who's like integrated into black culture, bumping his head hard to Central C, bumping his head hard to Drake. So I'm just like, bro, you're a black culture vulture, but when the culture's actually near you, it's intimidating to you.
100%.
Yeah.
Because it's something that they don't understand.
Why do you think that is?
Because it's not their culture. So I think
But
sometimes
fam, this is a multifaceted country in terms of the fact that like we're multicultural. There's different nations everywhere, so it's like you think you would understand that like people talk differently based on their environment that they grew up in. This is shit on social media, for goodness sake. You're a fucking millennial. Like it should go without saying that like dead ass is a common phrase to use.
Yeah.
Not like dead ass and like, oh my god, like you're fucking illiterate. Like buddy, I have a degree.
But you know, I feel like a lot of people think that like speaking proper English, quote unquote, is like related to how educated you are.
Exactly.
Like how
That's why I
smart
made
you
that
are.
point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it has nothing to do with the sort.
Yeah. Nothing at all, honestly. And let's circle it back to that
Let's
thing. Because I hate how it's just like, yeah, you're in tune with our culture when it just benefits you.
Exactly.
But like when
You're
the
in
real
tune
issues
when you
come
wanna wear
up,
J's.
yeah, when the real issues come up, you guys are just silent. It don't make no sense, you know. But, I guess they get it from their ancestors. Just take.
Cody, I see you laughing on the side. What
I
do you
know.
think about that?
What do you think about that, Cody?
I mean, of course, there's a lot of white people that love to, you know, listen to rap music and sing along to the lyrics in private and in public, I guess sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
all words included.
We get it.
You're saying nigga. That's what you're trying to say.
But yeah, of course, whenever like they don't care about any sort of like societal issue in regards to that quote unquote culture. I mean, it's just like a form of entertainment, you know, for them. It's not like anything that they want to see because it doesn't affect their life directly. And so they don't really have any reason to want any change for the better for that group.
But is that them like lacking empathy?
I don't know if it's lacking empathy more so than it's just like what Cody said. Like if it doesn't really necessarily have to do anything with my life, then like why do I care? It has a lot. Like even if you think in context of like, who the fuck is fighting right now? Why am I forgetting? Oh my god, bro! We were just talking about it from Amanda's Kicks. Iraq.
Oh.
There we go. My bad, y'all. I was literally forgetting the country, but how Iraq is at war right now, right? And a lot of people really don't care because it's not anything affecting them.
No, wait, you're saying Ukraine.
Oh, Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
I knew it was somewhere in the Middle East. I couldn't remember.
Ukraine's not in the Middle East.
Wherever the fuck it is. So even better to prove my statement right now. I don't even know where it's located,
Okay.
right? Exactly.
True.
So my whole entire point is that like there's a huge fucking national war going on right now, and people do not care. And you know why? Because it has no direct impact on them. It doesn't affect their day to day. You're still gonna have your fucking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, regardless if there's children dying and still in concentration camps. So white people view it the same way. If I'm still gonna wake up, take my piss and shit, why do I care that a black person just got shot yesterday? How does that directly impact me?
Well, even just how you said, like you don't even know where Ukraine is. You can also say then, like when, you know, when on like those Instagram videos, whenever people are on the streets and they're like asking random people like around our age, like general questions that are like high school level questions.
Yeah.
And they don't even understand. Like even on like Fresh and Fit.
Well, let's not try to compare that to me not knowing where Ukraine
No,
is.
I'm just saying. I'm saying those people,
Fresh and
they like they'll get asked like name one country in Asia or something like that, and they'll say like Europe is a country.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
like,
I've seen those.
and so you can say that like at the same time, maybe those people like they're uneducated, but maybe they just don't care enough to know that
To know
stuff.
those things,
but they
yeah.
do come off as being very ignorant because they don't even understand like simple geography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely do have the added aspect in my life where my girlfriend is black, and so having to like navigate that, and you know, have different interactions, like privately and publicly. It is something that is an added part of my life, and I have to be able to recognize those things, because growing up white, obviously, it's not like I had to, even as a half Jamaican, that half Jamaican side is white, and so I didn't have to, like, you know, think about or interact with different things that I've heard, like, other black people have told me, and also my girlfriend, that they've had interactions with growing up and whatnot. And so, just things I have to get used to more and more, but I definitely don't find myself, you know, checking my family and friends out of that, like, because of the fact that I have a black girlfriend now. I just kind of do it naturally, regardless of what the topic is.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not because of that reason, you just want to do it anyway.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
you would have done it regardless if you were in a relationship.
Yeah, and it's kind of a hard line to walk on, because obviously when you have a black girlfriend, it's almost like, oh, like now you're only doing it because of the fact that you have a black girlfriend. But I don't know, I'm fairly certain that I would be doing it, like, regardless of the situation.
Would you attribute that to your love for black culture in general anyway? Because you have a love for, like, 90s black movies, black culture, black music, black style.
No, not necessarily. I think, like I said, like, I just kind of like having
Being
discussions.
politically correct.
No, not politically correct. Because, like, obviously, like you said, we have, like, dark humor here and there, and, like, it's not like I'm someone who's like a loser to be around in that sense, where I'm always going to be saying, like, oh, you can't say that, like, it's 2023 now. Of course, like,
You're not a he, her, zen.
yeah, my family and friends know for a fact I'm not that person.
Yeah.
But what'd you say?
As long as
You're not a he, her, zen. That's a 2023 thing. The fuck?
Girl,
Yeah. That's what I call them now. You're not a he, her, zen.
I guess not. No, I am not. But yeah, I feel like it's just
Well, you
in terms of
Whatever.
in terms of like having, like, wanting to have discussions about things, you kind of have to set a precedent where you want to be talking about something that's factually correct to start, you know. And so if someone is mentioning something, especially when it comes to, like, statistics and black people, that's something that is always, like, misconstrued and misunderstood.
So tell us an example of that. Let's get into that. What is a statistic that you've seen that people often misrepresent because they don't actually go on, like, a PubMed database to actually find out what the fact of the matter is?
Well, one of the popular ones, of course, is, like, the statistic where in the U.S. the black population is about, like, 13% of the whole population of the country, but they account for 50% of violent crimes committed. That's, like, a popular one people use, but
It's a disproportionate ratio.
no, it's actually the violent crime statistic includes people who aren't even actually arrested for the crime.
Oh,
So-
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if let's say, like, a black person has a black girlfriend that gets beat up, and then the boyfriend will obviously be a suspect.
Yeah.
He will be a part of that 50%
Statistic. Oh,
statistic,
wow.
even if he
See what
was
you said, y'all?
even if he was innocent. And
Yeah.
so whenever the actual, like, arrests and convictions are taken into account, it's a lot closer to, like, the 13%. It's around, like, 20% of violent crimes.
Okay.
So it's actually
know,
a lot
still.
lower, yeah. But that's something where it's like a popular statistic. You can say that for a lot of statistics, regardless of what the context is, of course. You know, there's always,
For
like,
sure.
lines underneath that aren't looked at.
But let's just say, like, it's not about facts or statistics. Like, let's just say your family member or your friend said something ignorant, you know? Like, let's say your friend said nigga. Like, are you checking them on that?
Cody's not checking them
Well, like,
out. Okay, sorry.
like, it depends, like, how they're saying it, of course. And that's how I view it, because it's not like I don't view it as something where, like, I have to defend words other people are using, you know, because I feel like it's their right to be able to do whatever is what they want. But if they're calling someone that, like, let's just say if they're singing a song that's, like, a popular thing, like a rap song, and they say that word, I'm not gonna, like, you know, point my finger in their face and say, like, oh, you can't do that.
I can't page you for that because I'm not paging no white person that I hear say nigga.
Yeah.
I don't care. I can't stop you. I could page you right here, but who's to say you're not gonna go home and go do it again? You can't advocate for shit like that, fam.
Yeah, I feel like obviously if they're like calling someone the N-word, that's completely different. That is something where I
It's
feel
like
like
an ER. That's
yeah, and
different,
I feel like most people in those situations would be like caught off guard from that because it's like it's not like you call someone like any other like slur. It's like though that obviously has like a big like connotation with it,
Yeah.
and so I feel like for that for sure I would be like checking, not like confronting them, but kind of just like talking about how like uncomfortable that is to even be saying that word, like calling someone that word.
Yeah, I was trying to change the ideology around the word. I'm gonna just say it for context, so trigger warning, the word nigger. I was trying to say that around my house there, if you guys remember.
Oh, we remember.
I was trying, but it would still make people jump, so it didn't work, But I tried for a long time, believe me, guys, I did. But it didn't work.
Yeah, don't kill me. You have to reel it back. Still.
Yeah.
I read it though. Oh, well, that's interesting, Cody. I don't agree.
Yeah.
But you don't say nigga, right?
Cody
I
doesn't say
know
nigga.
you don't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Or if he does, I'm not there.
Again, like even yeah, like if it's like in a song lyric and like the song lyrics are in my head, I don't kind of like I'm not built yet to like censor the lyrics in my head. It kind of just like naturally goes through.
He said it one time actually. Now that you're saying that, I remember now. One time, me and my brother went to the cottage, and we were bumping tracks and whatever, enjoying ourselves. And it was a quick one. He forgot we were there because my brother has like that energy to just make people forget their race. You know what I mean? So
makes you feel comfortable.
Too comfortable.
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, his reaction, and it's not like I said
He was dying.
Yeah, he was.
But that's the problem. That's the problem.
So it's almost like he like obviously he didn't. You said something about him, and you used that word, and then I pretty much just repeated what you said because it was funny how you said it, but it included the word as well, and it caught me off guard that I said it.
Yeah, you were stunned.
Yeah.
But I beat him up for that, guys. Like actually.
Good. Well, I don't condone domestic violence, but good. Yeah, don't kill me. So we have another question here that I would like to ask.
Okay.
So I wanted to know if you feel like white people are inherently racist, or just everyone.
I feel like a lot of especially whenever you look at communities around the world, like you're inherently more comfortable around the people that you like grew up with. I feel like it goes back to like tribes and like all that, like because even if you look now currently in places like Africa, you still have people from different ethnicities fighting each other over the fact that they're different ethnicities. And it was only like less than 30 years ago you had in Rwanda like that exact thing, like killing people for different ethnicities. And so I feel like it is inherent, like people are inherently more comfortable around people that are similar to them. But I don't think people are inherently racist to the fact where, because I feel like with racism it has to be a form of like one is more superior to the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Or one is just more inferior than others. And so I don't believe that is a thing.
Oh wait, you don't believe people are inferior to like...
No, that's not what he said.
Oh, okay.
What?
So what do you mean you don't believe that's a thing?
Like I don't believe that inherently people,
okay.
yeah, people believe that other groups of people are either superior or negatively, or whatever, inferior. I don't believe that's like an inherent trait.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you just look at most people that are racist, it's acquired from their family. Like, so, yeah.
It is.
A lot of people for sure, but also like society can mess up somebody's mind as well into making them believe that like...
Can I just give a quick example before I go into that? Because I know where Cody's going. It does have everything to do with tribalism. So I don't know where you're trying to go, but I just want to make this point quick before you get there. It's just like Tarzan. Let's dumb it down for people listening. It's like Tarzan. Tarzan grew up with apes. All he knows is fucking apes talk ape, speak ape, whatever. If you take a white person and you bring them to the hood, they cannot be racist. All they know is black people, black love, black culture. They understand black people. I don't judge, like, me and my brother, we grew up in the hood. You have white people in the hood who've seen the same shit, same shooting, same everything, same welfare, same natural estate of the hood. If those niggas say nigga, I'm not judging you or looking at you a certain way. You don't know anything different from your experience. Your environment will shape your genes. Your genes are going to change based on the experiences you have. Your experiences are shaped around your environment from your culture. So if you're born into a white family that's racist, you're going to become racist. Racism is not inherent. Racism is learned. Racism is not real. It's not a real thing, so it can't be inherent. It's literally something that's made up. Down from a philosopher who literally said that black people have smaller skeletal systems than white people, and then that's how racism was formed, based off that notion, and then passed down through the ability to have resources faster and whatever. Then it became like a hierarchy thing.
But we can't say racism is not a real thing. It is a real thing. I understand what you were saying, because like it wasn't a real thing until it is.
Exactly.
But I'm saying like right now we do live.
That's
like,
prevalent.
It
is a real thing.
It is a real thing, like as an ideology, but as like an inherent thing that for it to be inherent, that means that it like exists naturally.
There you go. Exactly.
Well, it doesn't. It didn't exist naturally, but now it does exist naturally.
Why?
Because I think society is just racist. We live in a racist society. So I think I'm not even only saying that like white people are inherently racist. I think everybody's inherently racist.
You think so?
Well, let me not say it like that. I think everybody has like unconscious biases.
Oh yeah.
Because of like how we were raised and like what we see, you know? So I guess that's really my point. Like, do you feel like you've held unconscious biases where like you've unlearned
like implicit
those
biases?
Yeah.
I don't think so, because I feel like whenever I was growing up, it's not like I really grew up in like, I want to say like the hood or anything like that, but I feel like my family just naturally was like comfortable interacting with all different kinds of people and cultures, and so I didn't really have any sort of biases towards people that were like negative biases, in the fact that, like, I don't know, I just feel like for me personally, I didn't have that type of experience growing up where I had preconceived notions about how people are just based on, you know, the skin color they had or whatever, like culture they came from.
You had none at all.
I don't believe so. No, I feel like that's just how I was raised.
I think that's crazy to say.
It might be uncommon, but I'm just saying that's my experience, because for like me personally, I didn't really have those things growing up. Even like one of my best friends growing up was black, and so
that don't mean nothing.
Of course not. But I've still, like, whenever I was around him, I didn't feel like there was anything different about him compared to me or any of my other friends who would be white or anything else.
Okay. Well, you know, I never really knew you back then, so I can't really fight you on it. But so we have another question here. Why do you feel like black people feel uncomfortable around white people, or the opposite way around as well?
Well, no, let's not do black people.
Well, why
let's
do you feel
do
like white people?
Because you're white.
Yeah, so the opposite way. Why do you feel like white people feel uncomfortable around black people? Because you're saying you never did, right?
Yeah, I don't think so, no.
So, do you know anybody that is
uncomfortable? I can't, not to my like personal,
or like even
knowledge.
Just in the past, not right now.
Right, yeah, even in the past, I can't really think of someone who was like uncomfortable, like whenever they were around black people. But I feel like a lot of that has to do with, there's obviously different like reasons for it. Some people do have prejudices because of negative experiences they had with groups of people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you get robbed 5 times and all 5 times from a black person, I feel like that person's gonna have negative, like PTSD related mental issues regarding like black people. But it doesn't necessarily mean that like they're inherently racist about it. It's just like they had those experiences, and so that's why they're uncomfortable now around black people. You know, because I also feel like in society, like, of course, like it's a common thing where black people are like labeled as, especially in like the media and all this stuff, like they're labeled as like, you know, poor, or like they're dangerous, and all. Even like that statistic I just brought up before, it kind of like paints with a broad brush where like if people don't actually have experiences themselves with groups of people, like how I'm saying I was raised, where I can interact with anyone else, just like my parents would, and it wasn't like a big deal what color the person was. But for other people, they might not have those experiences, and so they're just taking from what they're ingesting from, social media, the news, and all that stuff, where they might think, oh, there's a black person in a hoodie at night, they must be dangerous.
100%. A lot of people think that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, and I'm black.
I'm dead.
But have you had those negative experiences?
Yes.
Yeah, so you formed that preconceived idea from your experiences.
But the thing is, I'm also from the hood, right? Like, let's start there.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what type of black people are dangerous when I see them walk in. I don't think every black person in a hoodie is dangerous. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But I know exactly what ends I'm in. If I see Big Rob in a hoodie, run.
And I feel like that's the dangerous part of like that thinking, taking like your past experiences and seeing like how that works now, right? Because it's just like you said, you would know that specific person that person Big Rob is dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
But as a person that had, like for example, had that experience of 5 black people robbing the same person, which would be fucking insane if that happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take that and you continuously try to hold that, you are gonna have those preconceived notions about all black people,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it just continuously like intensifies as you move through more experiences in life because you already carry that with you, it's like the Liam Neeson thing where he his daughter or something was assaulted by a black guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then he said like he just went out into the world, was just looking for a black man to attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? You're just looking for any black man to attack because one black person like assaulted your daughter?
Yeah.
That's an insane way of thinking. That is where like the dangerous part comes,
I feel like people don't fucking use their brains, to be honest. Like, unfortunately, this is a conversation we're having because of how ignorant so many people are. But this is real anthropology, where it's just like ideologies are formed into your brain to start to believe. They're social constructs. And if you cannot critically think, everything that you experience is going to ultimately become something that hinders you. It doesn't matter what the fuck it is. You touch something hot, if that gives you PTSD, you'll never touch something hot again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, come on, people. Like, I don't want to say wake up, but wake up. Like, this is how the government is brainwashing so many people. All they need to show you is one clip, and you're not going to read into it. Because, like we said with the fucking Ukraine situation, people don't care. You have to care because your brain does not allow you to see past its own vortex. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can't look past anything. So that's how you're going to be looking at life.
Yeah, that's my whole point, honestly. That's good how you brought it back because, like, it is important to care, even if it's not right in front of you, you know? Because, first, I feel like on a people-to-person basis, you should care regardless because those specific group of people are suffering. But also, that shit can come right back and bite you in the ass as well. So it's just like, why don't you take the, like, precautions now before it, like, instead of being reactive, be proactive type thing, you know? And, like, if we had people that just said, like, I don't care about this, that, like, our people that fought to bring us where we are here today, So imagine if they didn't care. It would still be a thing where, like, we're seen as, like, garbage, even though we still are. But, like, it would be way worse, like, how it was back in the day,
But take it in, though. I like how you did mention that. I feel like people only care when they have to, if they need to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if it's not something that's pressured and forced down their throats, they don't care. You didn't know for a fact that, like, you'd end up dating a black person as a child because you don't really know what race you're going to be into until, like, with maturity, your brain's developed, whatever. You probably did have a little bit of implicit bias. That's the reason why it's implicit. It's unknowing, It's just a thing that you care. It's there. So, maybe you carry some implicit biases, or maybe you feel like you don't need to advocate for every single thing until eventually you have an interracial relationship, and then out of that. If you enjoyed this week's episode of Different Races and Uncomfortable Spaces, you can log into any podcast distributor to hear this week's episode. Bye, y'all.